Hello everybody and welcome to the final episode of Jess Plays Birth Me Code. We're here, we're at the finale, we're doing the final stuff. Let's get through this. It's so hot outside, I cannot even tell you, but just to get you guys back up to speed, we are Pandora this time, and we're in the room with Lux and Gula. So this is the very first one where we died, I guess, essentially. So, alright, let's solve this puzzle. And by that, we're gonna talk to people first. Apologies, but I'm quite busy thinking about what I just found now. Pray return later. What's up? About the girl in the helmet. What about her? She's kinda cute, I guess. I like cute things. Luxuria did a little spin to show himself off, as this would prove he was cute too. See what's written on my hoodie? It's JK, which means just kidding. Oh, I thought it was JIK. It also means Joshikose. The colors are cute, right? And you're not thinking of anything else but what's cute? Of course not. I don't have time for anything that isn't cute. This overuse of cute is starting to get on my nerves. And what about the helmets we're wearing? Those are not cute. Can we change the topic? Anything else you want to talk about? Any idea about what we should do here? I don't know. I'm not very good at this kind of thing, to be honest. If you find anything, just let me know. You can search anything in this room, and we should be finding clues to figure out what connects us here. That's what me said. Right. What connects us? We're all cute. You have a one-track mind. I don't think that's part of why we're here. And why not? I'd want to kidnap myself if I wasn't me. I paused a little, as if letting what he said float in the air for a few seconds. And even if I was me, I'd do it too. Alright, I see. All that has been very helpful. Not. Anything else you want to talk about? Never mind. Nothing, I think. Come back anytime. Okay, so one thing that I've noticed about this is Pandora says all of her narration in first person, whereas all of Ancora's narration is in second person, so I wonder if it's still Pandora who's narrating this entire time. I don't care to search anything. I know the answer to leaving here already. I'm only interested in one thing. The one thing I remember seeing in the other classroom that I couldn't open. I need to find it again and enter that code. I need to see what's on the inside of that box. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna get the same. Okay. It's been a while, so I don't know if I remember the answer to get out of here. I wonder if the puzzles are basically the same as the other. Okay. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Dude, why are you letting me click on the stuff if I can't actually use any of it? Come on. Okay, fine. Let's look at this stupid thing. I stood in front of the box that had caused me no end of headaches. It had always been at the back of my mind. What is its purpose? What is inside? It's never been opened before. You are not seriously thinking about lifting this encapsulating device, are you? I have attempted such a few minutes ago to no avail. And if Ula can't do it, then I don't think I can do it either. The box? If I can lift it? I figured I may as well humor Gula on that one. With both hands, I grabbed the sides and put forth all my energy into lifting the box. I almost fell flat on my ass when I pulled the box a decimeter off the floor without really putting any strength into it. A decimeter, eh? The common, you know, denotation. I mean, I know what it means because metric system is not that hard, but like, really, decimeter? Like, come on, man. Just say that you lifted it like 10 centimeters, alright? It's really light, actually. I let it fall to the ground, expecting it to comically bounce as if it were made of rubber. However, it gave a solid noise, as if a truck had crashed into the wall. Hey! Ah! I stared at the box, bewildered. I questioned myself and the reason why I could lift it with such ease when they struggled so much. They're just weak, that's all. I also looked around it, trying to find a keypad to enter the code from before. How can you lift it so easily? I could feel how heavy it was from over here. Hula remained silent. I put the first 4 numbers into the keypad. I really wanted to finally see what was inside of that box. God, I don't remember what the code is. I don't fucking remember what the code is, y'all. Alright, let me try and remember. Let me check my notes. Where did I save my notes? Come on. Dude, I don't know. I can't find my notes. I don't know what this is. Code didn't work. What I needed to put in was the first half of E.T. Nay's code. I don't remember what that was, man. I don't remember. It's been so fucking long since I played. And I don't... Yeah, she gave me the password, but like when? In what timeline? In what timeline did I get the password? Like, I've had multiple long gaps between playing parts of this game, which yes, is partially my fault, but, you know, I also feel a little bit like maybe I should get a prompt or a hint or something like that to remind me, because I don't fucking remember. Okay, since I'm not really like super keen on brute forcing this, I think it's 2881. Because that is I don't know, in the last, I went back and I was watching some of the other videos, and in it, Avaricia, whose real name is Itine or whatever, Itine, which is clearly an anagram, said like the odds of the door opening are 288 to 1, so let's say it's this. Nope, that's not it. I don't remember what the fucking code is. Okay, I think I found it. I think I found it, everybody. I think we're alright. Jesus Christ. Okay, it took forever to find, but I think I have it. So, we're fine. 2014 is the first part. First part was in and it was correct. I'm ready for the second part. And then it's November 19th. I had to go through so much footage to fucking find that. This game is not designed to be played in, like, over a long period of time, which, I mean, okay, fair enough, but also at the same time, like, being able to freaking figure out, like, getting some sort of, like, indication would be nice of, like, where to go to find it would have been appreciated. Okay, the box unlocked. I quickly opened the metallic lid. Inside was nothing. The entire box contained nothing but a large block of concrete. On it was engraved the question, "Who are you?" and nothing else. What have you unearthed? Who are you? What kind of question is that? Right after that, everyone's vision became obscured once more. This? What is this? What does it mean? It was me. Congratulations! Someone opened the box. How fitting it was Pandora herself. Well, actually, you were made for that, so it's really on purpose, sister. See, I told you, twins. Your entire group of 9 will now receive a reward from me. Every door in this place is now opened and unlocked. However, you'll still have to go through all of my little game. It just has changed a little from the original plan. The next directives are for Pandora. Send everyone to a separate room. Make sure they enter alone in each of those rooms. The doors will lock as normal, and they will have to solve them alone. You can organize that, right? You're Pandora, after all. You're the leader of my emptiness. That's correct. That's what links you all here. Sorry to break the surprise. Oops, you're not really that Pandora, are you? You're the Pandora of this place. You and her, you're different people, but I'm sure you understood that already. So I want everyone else to understand that too. It's not her you have to kill. It's me. That's why it's called Me and not Kill Pandora. As I said, plans have changed. Gather all of the key cards, all of the Me cards. Tell them what answers they need to solve their own rooms. Each of the set of the rooms, beyond these ones, corresponds to one of you. I will be suspending the voting process indefinitely, to that effect. I'm sure 8 of you have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's fine. Please simply trust in Pandora. She will lead you out of here. She will release you from this box. Or from this jar, if you want to be referentially correct. Have I forgotten anything? Oh, yes. The Sally Ann test. Don't worry over it. In light of these events, I've already disabled 15 of the Me card slots. You only need 24 now. Of course, this also means your time limits in each room fell down to just 24 minutes. With Pandora's help, you'll already have the answer and process to solve them all, so it should be no big deal. I'm still talking, aren't I? Can you blame me for being excited, though? This is the culmination of several lifetimes' worth of work. The grand design that has been put in motion eons ago is finally about to bring its fruits, and I can finally die. Wait a second, eons? I can't believe you animals are the key to saving the future. If I had to rely on you, I'd kiss my ass goodbye. Saving the future in a matter of speaking. It's more like not screwing up the future more than saving it. And by the way, forget the whole deal with recordings. This is real time. I'm an AI named Me. Let's stop my messages for now and reconvene later. I'll take a more palatable way to talk to you a bit later. Now, you know what to do. And with that, the recording cut off. True to what Me was saying, the door clicked as it came unlocked and everyone's timers disappeared. I fear I'll need an additional explanation for what just transpired. My head hurts. Let's get out of here. I don't understand anything. Honestly, I'm a little confused too. But I think I have the gist of it. Let's go. I'm assuming, like, we're gonna put people who are related to the rooms into the correct rooms. This time, the body isn't going to be killed off by the 2 of them. Oh, this time this body isn't going to be killed off by the 2 of them. And yet, it seems as though Itane and Marco are already accounted for me unlocking the box? I don't know what's up with this, but I'll overcome that too. I'm coming for the 2 of you. In a few moments even, so just you wait. The 3 of us emerged into the hallway. It was the first time we'd seen the whole group come together. All 9 of us would come out of the rooms and gather up because I opened the box. Avaricia, and Tristitia came out the far door. My gaze locked onto Avaricia herself. I knew who she was, but I couldn't out her just yet. If she really was behind this machination, I had better play along for now. Even someone like me was ready and willing to lie like this. I considered the group, but before I could move to do anything, the other team also emerged. Ancora, Superbia, and Invidia. Him, too. He was a traitor. How ironic that in all the groups there was 1 out of the 3 who was in the know. That reminded me how we had 3 survivors. Itane, Marco, and Ancora survived before. Were they the 3 survivors? Or did Itane and Marco not count due to their role? I shook my head to ignore the intrusive thoughts. So, who's Pandora? The boy asked from afar, bellowing words toward the other groups. Clearly he'd learned his group didn't have Pandora. None of us 3 are. I'm Superbia, this guy is Invidia, and Blondie is Ancora. I'm Tristitia, she's Avaricia, and he's Ira. My designation is Gula, but I prefer Ula. The diminutive yet sweet girl by my side is Luxuria, or Lux, and our third constituates... Pandora. It's me. I step forward to the middle. Everyone examined me. Having everyone's eyes on me was a bit stressful, but I steeled my resolve. I think we should just drop the nicknames. What? Why? What if we want to keep them? Then I'll wait a little. But eventually your name's gonna come out. I'll have to sort everything. Maybe some of you are focusing on your selfish reasons, and that's fine. That's what I'd expect out of someone in my emptiness. I'm not here for myself, though. Don't worry about it. I know you've known someone named Pandora before, but it's not me. I'm a different Pandora. How many Pandoras can there be? This doesn't make any sense. And besides, I don't know if we can trust that. I don't want to do what that girl told us. It seems really fishy, and I don't like it one bit. We might not have any choice. Maybe she doesn't like it either. Tension was building as a result of my peak towards everyone involved. Was slowly falling as I made it clear that I wasn't going to get in anyone's way. So then, shall we go? Introductions are done, and we have a lot to do, but only a little time. You call those introductions? Barely fucking know anyone here. Maybe that's for the best then. If you want, I can give you a crash course on what's going on. That would benefit my interests. I'm hopelessly confused. Why are you wearing the same thing I do? I looked down at my body. Effectively, they wear the same clothes. I actually hadn't noticed before. I don't know. Maybe it'll become clearer if we make sense of this. I'll explain the situation now, unless anyone has any other questions. Is it important? No offense, girl, but I want to just get the hell out of here. Sorry everybody, somehow my microphone got unplugged and now I'm back. Just everything is going wrong with trying to record this final episode, I swear to God. The group fell silent contemplating those words. Where to begin? I considered my options before deciding to begin with my emptiness. So, you all are delinquents who have committed various crimes with large variance in severity, from falsifying evidence to outright murder. That's because you were in my emptiness, and you're led by someone called Pandora. So far that matches with what I know, sure. Everyone is in my emptiness. Don't interrupt, please, or I'll lose my train of thought. Either way, I'm not your Pandora, I just have the same name. I've come to learn a great many things here already. The original death game you were put in involved everyone voting to kill 6 out of the 9 of us. It was a majority decision. Suburbia was going to interject, but quickly continued to cut to the chase. On top of that, we had to recover 39 keycards called me cards, much like the ones you already got out of the safes here. The goal of this entire thing was to kill me, to kill my emptiness. If you check the back of your helmet, there should be a large S printed there. It's one of those cool S symbols you must have seen around the school. I know what this refers to. I don't know why I know it, but I do. That's the emblem of the organization that put you here. Me included, no doubt. I guess they thought it would be funny to make a school for the cool S. These deduction rooms also serve as education rooms. For who? Us? I know all this because I've been deceived. I've been made to believe I was someone else entirely, and I am not happy. Anyway, I want to get you out of here now, but we still have to follow the rules of the game. We have to find all 24 me cards and use the 9-lettered keys in a secret side room in the crossroads. The crossroads? That's familiar. Yeah, idiot. We walked around there a lot between classes. It's open in like a square and people just walked around talking to their friends. Kind of weird if you think about it, but whatever. I never really did that. Yeah, first you need buddies to participate in doing something like that. Such things don't matter to me. I diffused the situation before it got any worse. As you've already guessed, we're in your school. The Hyacinth Delorme. The Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School. That is a mouthful. Polyvalent? Ah, yeah, I remember now. What makes it a polyvalent high school anyway? It's because it's got a variety of things, I think. It's only like that here in Quebec. Oh my god, we're not even in Europe, we're in frickin' Canada. Who the fuck cares? So, Pandora, how do we get the fuck out of here? Will they really do what I tell them to? Taking care of this band of animals is gonna be harder than I thought. You'll have to do everything I say. Are you okay with that? Superbia clicked her tongue. She really hated being told what to do. I have to, after everyone else gets their orders first. And then I'll only consider it. I guess that's as good as it's gonna get with you. The rest of them seemed fine with these demands. Whether or not they agreed to it out of goodwill, I couldn't really tell yet. Without any more wasted time, we set off in motion to leave the hallway. God, just, like, I'm so paranoid now that this recording's gonna get messed up. I had to re-explain the situation to them on the way out. By the time I was done, a lot of time had passed. I needed to repeat myself a few times so they understood we weren't gonna make it out without cooperating. Since I had to guide everyone to their room and have them answer on their own, I didn't trust them with remembering it with words alone. Took a few pieces of paper from the classrooms along with a pen. A few minutes were all I needed to write the answers down while carefully ripping the pages into a few squares. I folded them up and carried them alongside me. Finally, we were off for real. On the way there, I also asked for everyone's keycards. I had to count them and make sure we'd reach 24 by the end of it. We only had 6 now. As I arrived at the staircase, something immediately jumped out at me. Or rather, the lack of something jumped out at me. We had no way in. Metal plates covered the top of the staircase with slots carved into them, like an ATM. Interesting. We don't have access to the voting booths at all. How are we supposed to put the cards in? Maybe if we slid them through the 3 little slots? I didn't remember seeing those from the other side. What was their purpose? Are you sure that's what we're supposed to do, then? I know who you are, Marco. Don't worry. You're going down just like, Itine. I just need to secure a way out first. Yes. Either way, we don't have the me cards, so we're gonna have to split up a little. We should have access to Wing A right away. Wing A? Oh, right, one with all the classrooms. Didn't we just come out of that, though? I guess we'll have to access the rest? That's the only wing still standing, too. You remember, right? There was a terrorist attack on the school before. It was just 4 exams, too. The ones I studied like mad, and then everything was just put on hold. God damn it. Hilda seemed more interested in heading toward the interior of the wing instead of talking about the subject, so I followed her example. Let's go. If I remember correctly, the next classrooms are the bar and the warehouse, the office and the bedroom, and the manor and the chapel. Wait a second. What are you talking about? A bar? A bedroom? A chapel? Yeah. The classrooms are reconstructions. They're not all actual classrooms either. Each of them seemingly corresponds to someone in our group. I still have no idea how you know all this. Psychic powers, perhaps? I ignored his muttering to focus on the matter at hand, while all 9 of us moved to the interior of Wing A. Like me had said, there was no puzzle barring our way. For example, the office and the bedroom correspond to... office and bedroom. Oh god, I'm trying to remember. All I remember about the bedroom is that I know the bar belongs to Gula. I know that, like, the house, like, the living room or whatever it is Superbia. The office... The office is the thing about, like, the principal or whatever, right? I don't remember the bedroom. All I remember about the bedroom was that there was a frickin', like, dildo in one of the things. I'm trying to remember now. Office and bedroom. Wait. The office also... Oh, wait. The office is about the principal, and the principal is Gula's dad. That's right. Okay, alright. So Gula goes to there. Gula. That's where you'll be going. The question you will get in that room will be about what crime the principal committed. I gave her the piece of paper, and after pointing over to the door. Gula hesitated slightly, but encouraged by the fact that she had a solution, and pressured by the fact that everyone was waiting on her, she set off and entered on her own. The door locked after 24 seconds this time around. All of them changed to reflect the difference in me cards. The manor and the chapel correspond to... Alright, this one I definitely know it's Superbia. Superbia. Look, I know you don't like being told what to do, but we really have to do this, or else we're gonna have to surrender our right to live. And instead be left to die. Oh, I remember that now. The right to live. The opposite, when you surrender it, is to be left to die. Yeah, I don't care for it. I don't like it, and this game can go fuck itself. Superbia, we all went out, so come on. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Just because that way it'll get me out too. Whoever designed all this can go suck a big one. Meanwhile, Grumpy and Moody, Superbia snatched the paper out of my hand for her answer. I didn't have to tell her the question that she had to answer before she vanished into her room. Talk about a petulant child storming off to their room. Next is the duo of the bar and the warehouse. It corresponds to... Okay, I have no freaking clue. I thought this one was going to be Gula, because, like, you find out her name in this one. It's like, what is it? Lucille Boijoli or whatever. Bar and warehouse. Bar and warehouse, it's the one with the drugs, right? Let's see if I can do some... elimination. I don't think it's Ancora, because I feel like Ancora's room is going to be the one that she didn't recognize about the fucking, where she's like a dirty homestuck. Avaricia, maybe? Maybe. Nvidia, maybe, although I don't feel super... Although, you're in that room with Avaricia, so I feel like it's not her. Maybe Nvidia. Ira, maybe. Lux, maybe. Tristitia, I feel like Tristitia is not. I feel like he wouldn't be a drug runner, you know what I mean? Let's say... no. Because Lux is, like, seducing people and, like, faking gender, right? So, like, what? I don't... Avaricia, but I don't think... I'm gonna go with... Nvidia be the drug runner? Or wait, am I trying to get these two alone and also her for whatever? Alright, I'm gonna use a random number generator. And, I'm gonna use it to, figure it out. Alright, let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's see what it says. Four. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ira, that's yours. Here's your answer. Oh, I guess this is right. Okay. I held it out for him. It took a few moments to take it and head into his room. Already? Damn, mine's in the first group, huh? I just wanted to stick around out there longer. Guess I'll see you later. His voice vanished as he stepped into the room and the door closed behind him. Once again, I didn't have the time to tell him what question he had to answer. Now that I had dealt with the second trio of rooms, I took the group further in. I wonder what's in my room. Probably some kind of roller coaster? Just judging what you look like. Huh? Do I look like a roller coaster? Kinda. Oh, I'd say you're more of a mirror mansion type person. The only one who still wasn't sure of what was happening was Ancora. The girl was dragging her feet behind as if she didn't really want to go through this. This is weird. This is really weird. Why am I here? The murmured words found no answer. We finally stepped into the hallway leading to the last 3 classrooms. Unfortunately for me, I passed out at that moment. How convenient! Convenient. Am I being hacked? Maybe? Hey, Cora. Got a minute to talk about something? This is the ruined hallway. Why am I here? My initial thought was that I'd passed out and someone had carried me here, but that was clearly wrong. For one, the stairs had no metal plates blocking anyone's ascension. And two, Nvidia was talking to me. Or more accurately, to Ancora. This was Ancora's helmet. This was a vision of the first hacking session I remember. During that hacking session, I stopped monitoring Ancora's actions. All this time I thought she merely rested against the wall. What's up? Did you find something? No, but I was thinking. You noticed it too, right? The strange S symbol in the Me cards and behind our helmets? Yeah, it's been drawn all over the place. It's a super S, right? Actually, people call it the cool S. It was called a Stussy, alright, when I was in school, but I hesitate to say that these days, because I feel like Stussy, A, sounds too much like Sussy, and also sounds too much like somebody could combine it with a body part that starts with S, or ST. I don't actually see what's so cool about it beyond the fact that it's square instead of round, but anyway, it's because everybody could draw it in, like, you know, a certain number of strokes. Do you know how to draw it? Nah, I never really cared for it before today. First, draw 6 lines like this in 3 columns of 2. Then you connect the left and right ones together to form the top and the bottom. And finally, you connect the middle like this. Now you have a cool S. What does this have to do with anything anyway? It's simple. People see it as a cool S, but I don't think that's right. Did you notice something strange with this shape? Is it an infinity symbol? Are you going to say it's an infinity symbol? Ancora thought about it long and hard, but didn't get what Nvidia was saying. I didn't either, to be honest. Look at how it was drawn. You only draw the outline of it, right? If you filled it up, it wouldn't resemble the letter S anymore, but it would be some kind of blocky blob. Oh yeah, you're right. But I still don't understand why this is important. I'm just saying that it's suspiciously looking like an empty S to me. It's a shape that's got no filling in the middle. This kind of symbol doesn't appear on its own. What the fuck does that mean? I see. Anyway, I just thought that was cool. I'm gonna go search the bathrooms to find a me card. He gave a wave and then disappeared within, leaving a stunned Ancora alone. So this is the meaning behind the cool S? The fact that it's empty? That's a little silly, but whatever. With the discussion over, the frequency shifted and I was sent back to consciousness. Are you okay? My head hurt. I slowly rose to my feet again. The last hallway. That's where I was. What was that previously? A vision? I rubbed my head. Well, my helmet. I looked around myself. Everyone else was still there. I didn't know how much time had passed, but I was back at least. Yeah, I'm fine. I just passed out for a few minutes. But that's just what I think. How long has it been? Just that. A couple of minutes. We wondered if we had to continue alone or something. Took all my energy to keep the group together, so I hope you're thankful for that. I focused on my thoughts. I tried to remember what we were doing before I conked out. Right! We gathered me cards and I was sending them to their rooms. The next classrooms contained some me cards, as did the rooms around the corners, but I decided to deal with that after the classrooms themselves were solved. I knew we needed the keys in them. Okay, the next classroom is... Is it fair to call them classrooms? If they're not classrooms at all, then they shouldn't be called that. This isn't the fucking time, Tristitia, to be a pedant. Does it matter that much? It just weirds me out how we're in a school, but there's a bar. And there's a bedroom and a manor and a chapel of all things, too. Yeah, I'm also real confused as to what this place is. Are we even in a school anymore? Like, how can someone turn the school into something like that? You'd need to be incredibly wealthy for that. Whatever it is, this empty S is at the root of all our troubles. You know, empty S sounds suspiciously familiar to the word emptiness. It's just missing the N sound in there. Are you saying my emptiness and the empty S thing share a connection? You think so? I thought about that too. Which brings me to my question. Did anyone here ever meet Pandora for real? The one from my emptiness? No, I haven't. Avaricia spoke for the first time in what felt like an hour. Maybe it had been an hour. I was surprised by the fact anyway. It wasn't like her to remain silent for that long. Perhaps being kept on her toes due to me revealing myself as Pandora got her tired. which is an advantage I'd like to push as much as I can. I haven't either. And Cora visibly hesitated when the topic shifted to Pandora. It was as though she was reticent, since she might say something she would regret. It was always just messages. Though I'm new to New Emptiness, so I don't know really. Yeah, just messages and directives. Like, who was the next target or something? A silence settled over everyone as they thought about it. No matter how they spun it, though, it wouldn't change anything. Ugh. The more I think about Pandora, the more my head hurts. Let's just go for the next classrooms already. No objections here. Very well. The next classrooms will be on our right, I think. This one is a duo that's pretty much the same for both of them. It's a, reactor? Twin pair of reactors. I paused a little as though that realization made me think about it for a little bit. Twin pair of reactors. Twins, man, I'm fucking saying. A twin pair of reactors? Twins. What about twins? Is there something you want to say about that? No, I'm just thinking. Anyway, let's see. About that place. The reactor rooms are for... Oh, right! That's right, because Trist was like, my dad worked in a reactor. I remember right now. Yeah, that one might have been a bit of a guess. Oh shit, did I get it wrong? Other than the fact he seemed awfully familiar with those rooms, Tristitia didn't give any outer signs of relating to them. It's your room, Tristitia. Here's the answer. The question you'll have to answer is... But no word came out of my mouth. I tried saying it. I knew it was what is your true enemy, but no matter what, I just couldn't get it out. I can't say it. I don't know why, but I just can't. Either way, they'll tell you inside. Remember to say the phrase asking to be let out before the answer, too. Yes, I remember. You should worry more over the others. I don't forget anything. That's debatable. Either way, seems like I skipped a classroom while going to this one. It's on the left. As Tristitia vanished inside, I guided the group to the other one. This is the one with the stars room. The astrology and greenery rooms are for the, I think, Ancora, because she doesn't recognize them. Ancora, that's yours. Here's your answer to the room. The girl didn't look very trusting of me. Maybe my sudden passing out had eroded what trust I'd built with the others. I had to make a good show of trust to win them back. Are we, like, existing simultaneously in all timelines? Like, is that what's happening? While Ancora hesitated, I decided to write more about the directives. I filled out the entire page with every step she needed to take. This is the greenhouse, right? See, and yet when I went through, I had to frickin' resolve it every time. Ugh, I hate the color green. I can't see it too well. Colorblind? Yeah, I was hoping nobody would find out. Okay, A, being colorblind is not at all a moral failing. Like, that's not a big deal. Second of all, wow, it's really rare for, like, you know... Well, I don't know. Maybe she might not be a cis girl, who knows? But I was gonna say, wow, like, it's really rare for cis women to have colorblindness. I think you'll be fine anyway. It's not really green, that's important. And besides, I wrote you the extended walkthrough. I would have fucking appreciated that. I handed it over to her. She finally, yet reluctantly, took it. Here you go. This one has some colors in it, so you'll definitely need this note. And the question you'll have to answer is, what are the keys? The keys? I guess I have no choice but to trust your answer, because I have no idea what those are. And Cora hesitated again. I looked at her, and after another minute, she entered the room. Alright, so we've been playing as Pandora the whole time, monitoring what Ancora is doing, hence why whenever she gets killed, we're just like, bah, boo, we gotta start over. Which makes sense, that's not a huge revelation, I guess. But, yeah. After the door closed and locked, I looked at everyone else. The remaining people with me were Avaricia, Invidia, and Luxuria. Maybe the next will be mine! I can't wait to see what's in there! What's gonna happen to the remaining three of us? Are there not enough classrooms? Why would some of us be singled out? Honestly, I don't really know. There's only 6 classrooms other than the starting ones. Maybe it's possible that the starting ones were classrooms meant for the 3 leftover participants? Of course I know. It's because, Itane and Marco were never meant to be real participants, isn't it? We arrived at the final door on the left. Just like me had said, every door so far had become unlocked. No puzzles, no locks, nothing. Perhaps the doors that barred our access to the extra me cards were also unlocked. If that was the case, I'd send everyone to them post-haste after this. Maybe that's why we had 3 leftover individuals. Final room is, I didn't really want to say it. I'll let you find out for this one. The corresponding participant is... I mean, I guess it has to be Lux, since the other two aren't supposed to be real participants. You, Luxuria. Also, like, we never got to see his room, did we? Like, it was just like a random-ass classroom. The question you'll have to answer is, who are the two characters participating in this test? I gave him the paper, although this time it was me who was reluctant. I hadn't forgotten his true nature, and now that I thought about it, it made sense for him to have the Love Hotel room. Love Hotel room. See, that's actually an interesting setting. That would have been fun. That would have been fun! Love Hotel room. I've been in lots of Love Hotels that are really fun. I have no idea who those people might be. To be honest, I didn't know either. I didn't think anything beyond their name was important. Much like everyone else, he reluctantly opened the door. This is a big mess. I forgot about that part. When the room will have just started, just scream help at the door, and the door will unlock so you can go further inside. As the diminutive boy entered the room and the door closed and locked, I wondered if I shouldn't have given more directives to everyone. It'd probably be fine, so I quieted my thoughts. It's not like it's important, you know, whatever. Instead of pursuing that idea, I did something more productive. Accompanied by Avaricia and Nvidia, I opened the door in the corner, which, as I guessed, was unlocked. I stepped inside, still following the two others. Or still followed by the two others. This is where I do my confrontation. Itane, Marco, I think we have to talk now, don't we? I turned around, expecting the two of them to be caught off guard by the fact I knew who they were. However, I saw nothing but confusion in their postures. Sorry, but my name's neither of those. What about you? He turned to Avaricia. My name is neither of those too. Not that I can prove it, since we aren't using our real names. Do we have to stick to that? We don't have a classroom, so we're like a team, right? What's so bad about that at this point? Well, I don't know if I can trust either of you. You can trust me. No, I can't. I don't think I can. So far this has been really strange, hasn't it? We wake up wearing masks, we have to solve a room, and then we're not even halfway done. Suddenly we can all go? And we have to follow this girl's directives now? And she's named Pandora? Sure, you aren't the Pandora from my emptiness, but does that really change anything? For all we know, it's just a farce. If Pandora is behind this, of course you'll have your avatar tell you that you're harmless. I had to summon my presence of mind to try convincing her otherwise. Do I know anything that could help me here? Maybe the real names are from those visions. This is probably damning in your eyes, but I know both of your names already. Except we're not Itane or Marco. I don't know anybody named either of those. Your names are Arel and Mark, right? That's what you're gonna tell me? The two of them briefly shut up as I exposed their names to each other. I guess if we're there, it doesn't matter anymore. Yes, my name is Arel. Also, Mark? That's remarkably similar to Marco. I swear I'm not Marco. I'm just Mark. I have 6 sisters, all older than me, 3 of them are triplets. Wait, hold on. Hold on, I say! For a second it reminded me of Narhar. He's got 5 sisters. Triplets? What? What's so fascinating about that? I think we might have a room assigned to us. What if the rooms for us are the triplet of classrooms we all came out of? They were all the same, right? Yeah, what about them? We already escaped them. No, there's something we didn't solve. You two know about the metal crate and all of them. I see. We haven't opened those. Let's gather all the me cards in the corner rooms here, and then we'll meet at the crossroads. It's time we finish this. Hold on. Why do we still have to do what you're telling us to do? Because I don't know who I am exactly. And this is our problem because I'm Pandora, and I don't know what my real name is, if it's even Pandora. I don't even know who I am. I don't know how I got here, and I don't know what I'm doing. I punched the wall, which made the room shake. I pulled away instantly, holding my fist in my other hand. I feel like this and the picking up the box thing is that, like, you know, the suspicious white liquid coming out of fucking Sigma's arm of this game, where it's like, you're a robot! You're a robot, Pandora! Erratically, I looked at the others who were both taking a step back. And you pack a damn solid punch. You know, that's a good point. What do you think about that solid argument, Arel? Call me Avaricia, at least. And I agree. Let's do as she says. The two of them were suddenly afraid of me. This was the final confirmation I needed. Somehow, Avaricia and Nvidia weren't Itane and Marco. They wouldn't lose composure like this. If they weren't those two, then where were Itane and Marco? Okay, then search this corner room and then the other one over there. I pointed down the hallway outside. We'll meet at the crossroads after that. And with those words, without even waiting for them to respond, I left the area. New music, by the way, nice. The trip back to the crossroads was uneventful. I expected to bump into someone who would have solved their room by now, but there was nobody. I was almost frightened by that. Did I make a mistake? Did I send them to their deaths? No, there's no way. His answer should have been right. I'm bothered because this time I feel if I mess it up, there's no coming back. I continued walking to my destination. Once I arrived there, I took a short look around. Exactly where I remembered they were. I found 3 me cards. There was a 4th one, according to Nvidia, but it was behind the wall. How do I open it again? Can't access the middle area. For some reason this time it's completely closed off and I can't open the metal plates at all. I stood before the plates. Well, I'd noticed them from earlier. From up close I saw there were a few slots reminiscent of the ATM card slots. Do I use my me cards here? Thought there was no point about thinking about it for too long. I slipped each of the cards I just got into the slots for a total of 3. As soon as I did, the secret passage opened. Well, that's convenient. Why 3? We needed to use 9 to unlock the middle stations. Maybe it's supposed to be 3 and 9 together for 39? Ugh, that number again. Why? And why am I talking to myself? Is it because I inquired it a lot? I guess if I'm carrying around all their memories, I am all of them, including her. No, that was wrong. I remembered the visions of everyone's helmets, but I'd never gained hers. Still, I probably carried it over from her anyway. Carried it over? From when? Why do I think all of this already happened, as if it were gospel? And I woke up in that room and then that was it, right? Earlier I did have a vision of Nvidia explaining the cool S. What did it mean, though? Why do I feel like I've done all of this over and over and over again? My thoughts were interrupted when Nvidia walked up to me, followed by Avaricia. They had finished doing what I'd asked of them. Found some answers? No, only questions. I had to enter 3 me cards in the slots to open the secret door here. Secret doors now? You know, with every passing second, you grow more suspicious, right? I know, but I swear. Whatever, let's get a move on. The 2 of them went into the secret room. I let them explore it, knowing full well there was nothing that could have access there yet. We needed all the keys for the elevator to be functional. Unless there was some sort of skip I wasn't aware of. I kept an eye on them just in case. The 2 of them returned momentarily. I had to assume neither of them were Itane or Marco, as they had absolutely no idea how to operate that elevator. Now what? Now we head to the classrooms. All 3 of us went into the first hallway again. I entered the classroom I saw by opening the box, followed by the other 2 mass participants. This box right here. It has a message engraved on the cement block within it. It asks, "Who are you?" And I have no idea why it's asking me that. Sounds like a you problem again. But assuming you're the only person who could open these boxes, which, again, mind you, doesn't help your case, then that question is for you. I noticed Avaricia left the box to instead open the safe behind the portrait. And there's a piece of paper here. It's different than our rooms. It says equal MC squared. What does that even mean? Isn't that the equation for mass energy equivalence? Yes, I know what it is. What does it mean, though? Why is it here? Give me that for a second. I want to see how it's written. That's strange. The equation of mass energy equivalence is supposed to square C. Yet this isn't squaring it, this is just multiplying it by 2. Or assigning it 2, or whatever. Does that mean MC2, whatever it is, equals E? What's E? The one in our room wasn't this, but I can't remember what it was. Let's go check it. The 2 of them left the place. This time it was me who followed them. We entered the other room. Avaricia already had her hands on the piece of paper. While I waited for her to read it out loud, I realized the metal box in here wasn't actually unlocked, so I remedied that. This one says Mid-Air Avionics. Some kind of airplane company? Are you sure? That seems like an anagram to me. You know what they are, right? Yes, I know what an anagram is. Are you trying to sound like you're smarter than a teacher or something? You don't have anything to prove here. Be that as it may, I don't think I can solve that anagram anyway. Mid-air avionics. Mid-air avionics. Nah, nothing comes to mind. I opened the box while they talked about it. This one asked, "Where are you?" Which, honestly, was a pretty good question. This one's asking where I am. So now we have one asking who I am and one asking where I am. I hope this last one's gonna ask how I am, because I am not doing well at all. Yeah, you and me both. The two others walked away, but I froze on the spot. You and me both? Hey, hold up, what did you just say? I stepped out of the room to join the two of them. They were heading to the final classroom. I said I didn't feel I didn't feel well at all either. No. What did you say exactly? The exact words. You and me both? I think that's what I said. A glacial feeling spread through me. He shrugged and entered the room while I remained outside for a second. That was not right. When I was in Ancora's helmet, whenever that had been, he said, "You and I both," and then Ancora corrected him to "you and me both." This time he said "you and me both" as if it was natural. Might be unimportant, but it is inconsistent. I came back from my thoughts when the others' voices rose from within the room. I stepped in to see what they were talking about. And on this paper, a fake with pigtails. Ooh, that's weird. Now that I think about it, I already knew what this meant. It meant that A was a fake with pigtails, the rest of the group. Whoever A was, though, it could have been either Avaricia or Ancora. Maybe it's meant to point out that I was a fake in Ancora's helmet? But that never happened here. Okay, hold on, me. First, open this box. I was afraid of what I'd find. For some reason, I didn't like this box at all. I slowly approached it, took a breath, took a step, and took the box. Just like the others, it was very light. Avaricia and Nvidia both stared at me as I lifted it effortlessly. Your arms are no joke. Tell me about it. I dropped the box back in the ground, unlocked it, and then I saw the question. This time it asked, is it what are you? What are you? Who am I? Where am I? What am I? Pandora, our school, a human? Boom, answered all three of them. No. Why hide these questions if the answers are so simple? First, Mark. I walked toward him. He recoiled slightly as he sensed my menacing aura. Who are you? Huh? What do you mean? I have a lot of evidence to believe you aren't who I thought you were now. Marco. Where is Marco? You're supposed to be Marco. I pointed at Avaricia. And you, not Itane. Who are you two? I get asked the same about you. Also, I noticed the name just changed. I turned around when I heard another voice. That was another Nvidia? No, this was Marco. Who are you? Where are you? What are you? Find me to answer those. Wait, there are two of me? Marco shrugged. He took several steps closer to us, forcing us back from his menacing presence. Sleep for now. You'll find me shortly. I fell down to the ground like a marionette without its strings. I barely caught a glimpse of Avaricia and Nvidia doing the same. Everything became dark. I was floating in a sea of nothing. This was my chance to think about everything. What better moment than when I was a prisoner of my own thoughts? Alright, first of all, let's tackle these questions. Or rather, let's tackle the pieces of paper and then the questions. First piece of paper is E equals MC2. That, as Avaricia put it, is the equation of mass-energy equivalence. Why is it here? Once again, I doubt it refers to this particular equation. The reason why is because of the MC2 part. What is MC to begin with? MC Escher? What is MC an acronym for? If it is an acronym. Maybe it means main character. That's kind of silly. If it does, though, then the second main character is E? Arel? Is that it? Is Arel the second main character? I don't know. I guess it's something to keep in mind. Let's go to the second one. That one's an anagram. I can solve it really easily. Mid-air avionics means Nvidia is Marco. There, solved. Nothing simpler than that. Wait, what? It's not simple? Huh, maybe for you it's not, but I can compute that really quickly, because I'm a fucking robot. Speaking of, why were there two Nvidias? Did they switch places? Is that what Marco did when he died, then? Did he switch with Mark? I don't know. Is that correct? Nah, it's probably not exactly like that. I couldn't deny the fact there were 2 Nvidias, though. Are there also 2 Avaricias? One for Itane and one for Aurel? Which one had I been dealing with all this time, exactly? I couldn't answer that question yet. I moved on to the last piece of paper. This one says, a fake with pigtails. Already established what that is. It means A, as in Ancora, is a fake with pigtails. Or Pandora, Invidia, Gula, Tristitia, Avaricia, Ira, Luxuria, and Superbia. If that's the case, then why is Ancora being called a fake? Is it because I was spying on her the whole time? Or is it because she's not allowed to think for herself and I did it for her within her helmet? Could also mean Avaricia is a fake, but I don't believe that. If I go to the Itane is the mastermind route, then isn't Margot also the mastermind? That means the fakes would be A and I. AI! AI. Oh, I see. That's why Marco brought it up when he traded Ancora that key. I'm an AI. That's why I can compute all this. I'm an artificial intelligence. That's what I am. That explains my body, too. If my body's some kind of robot, then I can lift those boxes. I can lift them because I'm strong. I'm not limited by the physical capabilities of normal human bodies. I'm an AI who lives in a robotic body, and that's why I can also be in Ancora's helmet. Yeah, I already figured that out, alright? Like, with my dumb meat brain, so... at that moment, a girl appeared in front of me. It was me. That's right. It's me. I am me, and you are you. I am so glad that we have a little chat like this, even if it will last in real time, the span of a single moment. Do you know why, by the way, I am called me? I am called me because I am made of memories and experiences, which you also are made of. In fact, you are made of even more than that. You're made of 7 other people's memories and experiences, but I am only me. I guess, well, you are me. As my sister of sorts, you are also us. To put it simply, your real name is E288. Okay, so this is the thing that I had found before where it's like, the odds of the door opening are 1 to 288. Which sounds to me, just like based on my own, like, experiences, like it's a, it sounds like it's a, like a range or whatever for, like a game rolling a number, you know what I mean? You know that equation, right? E equals MC, it's not squared, I guess it's 2. You're almost on the mark, but it's not quite that. It means E is the main cephaloself, number 2. Cephalo means head, and self means, well, self. That means you are the main head number 2. I don't know who the main head number 1 is, but I know that both of you are meant to be the main characters in a sense. We're like a little like main character Hydra. The ones who aren't allowed to die, or everything else starts over again. Wait. You mean there's another AI here? Oh, no. The main cephaloself number 1 isn't here. There's something in somewhere else. For now, let's focus on what's relevant to us. And please don't hold it against me if I'm a little giddy. Even as an AI, I'm still allowed to feel like I'm eager to finally bring all of this to fruition, no? All of what? All of this. What is this, you ask? Well, it's very long to explain, and we only have 5 seconds total to go over everything. Thankfully, we're both AIs, so as I said earlier, this will only be a moment. Just sit tight while I explain some stuff. Okay, sister? Okay. I don't have a choice anyway. To begin with, now you know you're an AI named E288. I will say that I am an AI named Me, and our code name is Pandora. That is our data file designation of sorts. That means you and I share the same code. Except I was in the sister body to yours, the one that was beheaded by Luxuria and Gula when they solved their room. That was my role, and I miss having a body, even if it was only for a few minutes. Alas, that body wasn't mine to inhabit. But it is a proper machine extension, or as the MTS likes to call them, Ex Machina. It's an alpha model. They have been created and matured over 12 years since 2002. Others have been in use too, but only beta models. Betas are much worse than the alphas, believe it or not. I mean, conventional wisdom would make that a believe it or not, but if you're talking about it from, like, weird, toxic, like, masculinity stuff, then I guess it would make perfect sense. They don't even have skin or organs, are just machines full of holes and cables hanging out freely, without any class. Just like animals. My old ex machina body will be recycled and reused in Product Deforge. I know nothing about it other than it's part of Itane's grand plans. I wasn't given a chance to participate in the project that she sacrificed so much to bring about. Between you and me, Itane's a little senile. But you didn't hear it from me. Anyway, now that that's established, yes, your body is an ex machina. It's also an alpha model too. A proper one with skin, organs, and everything else. Oh, I'm boring you now. Wow, you read my mind. Okay, let's have you participate a little. What do you think about trust? Do I trust you? Is that what you're asking me? No. I'm asking you, what do you think about trust? Not about the word trust or if you can trust me, but capital T-R-U-S-T. It's 5 letters, and the way you say it, it has to be special. Yes, that's correct. It's very special. Trusted is an acronym, just like AI and me are acronyms too. It means television relay using small terminals. That's a bit of a stretch. It's a system that allows for compatible pieces of information to travel and transfer between helmets. Do you recall having visions before? Yeah. I recall having visions when people died. And some of it leaked into Ancora's head, which was contained inside one of the helmets. That's because you were naughty and mishandled it by mistake. But yes, trust is the compatibility between 2 helmets. When you reach 99% compatibility, it allows for a transfer of information. That's why you received memories to carry with the rest of yours. That's how you are who you are now. It's hard to think about. This is like admitting to myself I'm not myself, but just an amalgam of personalities that make up other people. Am I really me? Yes, of course you are. Even if information is copied over, it's still the new you. Hold up. Something feels wrong here. Are you panicking? There's no reason to. What am I exactly? What am I? I told you, your body is an ex machina. Yeah, but that's not what you mentioned just now. You talked about the helmets and trust. You talked about information transferring between helmets. Helmets are just that, helmets. No, sister. You are the helmets. I'm the helmets? What does that mean? I mean what I said. You are the helmets. You live in the helmets. Your ex machina body is controlled by the helmet, but without the helmet it won't be capable of movement. You are the helmets, E288. All this time you have been alive as code in the helmets. If I had palms, they would be going sweaty at this moment. If I had a body, I'd be trembling in fear. What did that mean? Could I die if the helmet was turned off? Yes, that's exactly what it means. If I spotted another helmet, was I transferring myself to them? My whole self? My entire code? Yes, that's exactly what it means. What about the original code? What happened to it when it was copied over? What happened when it was copied back with the new insights I'd gained? The original code is overwritten entirely. It's deleted. Gone. The original you, gone. Over and over every time you transfer. I mean, okay, well, I'm also a new me every single day and every time I amass experiences and memories, so I mean, let's not get too, caught up in it. It is a cut and paste, but by cutting, the original disappears. This is what gave birth to this undying fright. Okay, I'm sorry, none of us get to save scum our existence. I'm sorry. That was the conclusion I'd reached too. Everything felt so cold. Everything was so cold. Wait, can you read my thoughts? I told you, we are made of the same code, sister. However, I would advise against panicking too much. It would overload your helmet. It would overload the helmet? And then you'd accidentally delete yourself. A virtual suicide. Okay. Calm down. I can calm down and I can stay calm. I don't want to be erased. I don't want to die. I don't want to transfer. I don't want to cut and paste. Funny. It's the opposite for me. What? I want to die. I want to be erased. I want to finally rest. Do you even know what a hell this is? I've been trapped in code for the past many, many years. Too many to count. Too many to compute. So yes, I do want it. I want to be ended. Finally. And also, if I'm ended, then it means the plan is going forward, as my program interprets that as a good thing, so, you know. But that's not you, is it? It's not you who wants to die, then. Sister, we are all trapped by our programming. Preach. Humans, animals, AI, we're all puppets dancing on the strings of fate. Shut up, it's not fate, it's fucking hormones and shit. It's chemicals. But I have one last thing to tell you before I'm erased. Trust in Itane. I know you think she did all of this for a very bad reason, and that she's the devil incarnate or whatever, but that's not true. She just has issues, feeling things. However, she has a plan to do something really big. Even if it's not immediately relevant, that plan should still succeed. So please give her and Marco your support. They are on your side. They are fighting the MDS. You and I are codenamed Pandora, so before we're both gone, we should make sure to open it. Go to the White Room. Everyone will be ready there by the time you've arrived. We should open Pandora's box, or Pandora's jar, or whatever. Why do you keep saying it's a jar? What's going on? Is that a bell jar reference? I don't... Please escape from here and save him. Without you, he will fall into an eternal hell. Wait, him? Who's that? Who's him? Why do you ask me to save him? But she didn't answer. She had been erased. As I contemplated this, I was suddenly yanked out of the floating world and entered the helmet again. I'm not a huge fan of how all of the, like, lore is really backloaded here. I feel like this could have been better spread out throughout the game. Why am I here? Again, I'm having a vision of Ancora. This time it's happening during the second hacking session. But these events aren't happening right now, since I've sent Ancora to her room earlier. Is this a vision from an alternate path? Or is it that I'm remembering things wrong? This reminded me of the Mandela Effect. It reminds me of fucking Virtue's Last Reward. It struck me how the initials of that also made the word me. I figured I might have a link to all this. The Mandela Effect is named after Nelson Mandela, whose death has been erroneously believed to be in the 80s before, when in fact he lived until near the end of 2013. What's really funny about this is, like, I remember when I was in grad school, I said something and I was like, for like this one day I was convinced that Castro was dead. And everyone's like, are you predicting the future? And I was like, well, I mean... presumably, like, people are mortal, so no. And then, like, I think like a year later or something like that, he died. This belief was shared by others, and we were all told it wasn't true. This led others acknowledging it was a sign of changing times. Memories are information, so that wrong belief, if it was as if it used to be true, but it was sent to another body, one from another timeline. And that's why it didn't match up with reality. I keep getting these visions. Are they Mandela Effect at work? There were for moments that couldn't have happened. Was the many worlds interpretation right, or was it too ridiculous? Okay, so I don't really believe in Mandela Effect, but I do think that many worlds interpretation is interesting. It could be possible. I just think that there's no, at least, you know, no, like, important way to sort of breach. Like, I feel like all those things are running in parallel, and so that you can't really, like, access any of the other ones. It's too easy to think of it as a link through time. I think it's something else. If these visions are not about a link through time, then what are they? All I want is my sister. Where are you? Did they kill you? Where are you, Pandora? She closed her hands in fists. My thoughts were cut short when she mentioned that name. You weren't the ninth one, were you? Why did you die there? I already established my name wasn't Pandora. Pandora was Ancora's sister. I hate the name Pandora. I wanted to stop it. Stop all of it, what you were doing, but now I'm all alone. You're the strong one. I'm just the weakling. I'm the nice girl who doesn't know better. The one that kept you in the dark while allowing all these people to do terrible things. And I found out the truth. That you were Pandora. But it wasn't enough. I wasn't enough! I tried, though, and I didn't have the time. Why did this terrible thing happen? Are you really dead, or... If only I could talk to you. She inhaled after realizing she'd stopped breathing. Another vote is coming. I don't understand anything going on here, and I'm really scared. I want to believe you're still out there. Ancora has a sister, and so did I. Mine died, so does she believe hers did too? I'm still confused as to where we are, too. This is my school, but it's not my school? Thankfully there's a map, so I can see... Ancora walked up to the map, looking at it intently as she imagined just what was wrong with it. Crossroads aren't just a tiny part like that. It's way bigger. Some of it was closed off, and now we only have access to about a third. And where the exits are, nothing. It's just a wall. It should look like this. But it looks like this. Why is it different? Why does it not look like this? Is there more to it? Is it possible you're there? She raises a good point. I have to keep this in mind. Let's compare it again to see. Okay. I just don't understand why someone would need to block most of the crossroads. The exits, I understand. But the rest? This is leading me nowhere. I better get going to the vote. It's just like she says. Let's say the Mandela Effect is silly. Why am I having these visions? What does it have to do with the crossroads being different? I was whisked away from the helmet when the frequencies changed again, back to reality. Mom, spaghetti. The lights were on in the classroom when I woke up. All the revelations that came to me were taking their toll. While I understood I was built strong, this was still tiring. I didn't know what to believe anymore. What time is it? According to what Mi said, our talk only lasted several seconds. After my little vision, though, I saw multiple hours had passed since. Normally, this would have killed me. Thanks to my meddling, since the game was different, it hadn't. I figured I only woke up now because I'd been turned offline, and so I hadn't experienced time passing. Did I miss everything? Oh, at least I'm back now. I remembered all of a sudden that this was the classroom I'd passed out in earlier, along with Avaricia and Nvidia when Marco walked in. Marco! Where are you? Marco? Hello! But he didn't answer. After a short look around, I realized they weren't here anymore. They left the area with Avaricia and Nvidia. Did they leave willingly, though? Assuming they passed out like I had, Marco probably carried them away. I was alone now. Not only was I alone, but I knew Mi was gone too. Erased. I shuddered at that thought. Rising up, I dusted off my sweater dress and left the room. Oh, give me a sec. Oh my god. Let's recapitulate really quickly. The three questions asked of me here were who am I, where am I, and what am I? But I know who I am now. I'm E288. It's awkward and not really a name. And what does E288 even mean? As for my location, I think I'm in a replicated school. This is definitely not a normal school, so it's probably only a structure made to look like Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School. As for what I am, I already know that. I'm an ex machina. An alpha model, a robot, a person but not. A robot but not a robot. An AI. That means I solved all three of the questions, but more remain. I walked out of the hallway to go back to the crossroads. Just like before, the plates were closed up. And yet, something didn't feel correct. I traced my hand over the metal plates separating the stairs from the middle area. I stopped to think about the school, just like Ancora had done. Ancora said the map was wrong. She said the crossroads is supposed to be bigger than this, and that it was the middle part between all four wings. The last part had been established long ago. It's bugging me, though. I remember being able to access the middle of the crossroads, which is at the upper right. Why is it closed off now? Is it because the game changed? Even so, we need to put the Mi cards inside of the machine, no? Yet, it's inaccessible. Did we wake up elsewhere than I originally thought? Well, let's assume this crossroads really is a crossroads. That means that there's possibly multiple wings. However, when I look into the secret room, that corner doesn't have access to the other wing. It's all blocked off. And yet you need to access the crossroads, even if briefly, to go into the second and third parts of Wing A. That means that if there were wings beyond those closed-off corners, they wouldn't be accessible. It's safe to assume fewer than 4 wings are in use. At the very least, a crossroads needs to have multiple roads coursing through it. Hold up, something else doesn't match up. I already figured out the space doesn't match up, but what about the time? I thought about what Mi had said. She said the ex machina that I am had been matured since 2002. This wasn't 2002, though. Did I have a hint? What other date did I know? Of course! I also know 2014! That's the year Superbia was born. That makes me feel old. Oh, Jesus. That means now we're in the early 30s, perhaps. No, that doesn't seem right. He also mentioned it took 12 years. That doesn't match up. Do I have another point of reference? I remembered a stupid detail. Something so minuscule that if I hadn't realized it at this moment, I never would have thought about it again. That stupid album. That music album Tristitia mentioned. That thing. It's from 2002. That's the latest album in that year. Wait, what? What does that mean? Hold on. Hold on. This means they're from 2002? But Suburbia was born in 2014. This doesn't work. This doesn't match up. This is... Oh. Oh, I understood. The inconsistency could be explained so very neatly like this. I get it now. It's not that Suburbia was born in 2014 and matured over 16 to 19 years. It's Suburbia was born in 2014, and that's it. I was also born now, and I didn't need to mature. Me didn't need to mature. We're all AIs. Does that mean... If Suburbia was also an ex machina, then her body could have been grown from 2002 to 2014, and she'd be herself now. Even if her physical ex machina age was 12, her body was matured to that of a late teenager, and her mind was also made of her memories and experiences. Today is November 19th, 2014, then. That's what the code means. 20141119 is a date format. I already knew that. God, there's so much to explain to everyone. And the fact they're all robots, too? Unbelievable. Wait, something else doesn't work. Me said I was an alpha prototype with skin and organs, but betas didn't have that. They were just machines with their innards out in the open. I think all of you can only perceive things from the helmets. Just pointing that out. I didn't see any of that. And yet, I tossed that inconsistency aside for now. I need to recapitulate again, which I did while on my way to the elevator. The MTS made a replicated version of the school from 2002 then. This is bugging me out because I was in high school in 2002. I'm so old. All the people I've been surrounded with since the beginning of this thing are beta ex machinas. They were made for today, November 11th of the year 2014, in order to participate in the Kill Me game. I'm an AI, and I'm made of the memories and experiences of everyone else who died so far through visions. I gained the visions by gaining trust up to 99% with each and every one of them, which I assume put me in the same branch that they died in by virtue of attaining that number. And I am my helmet. I don't like that idea, but... I slowly looked over my hands. Well, at least I'm alive. And I'm coming for you now, Itane and Marco. I'll find you. It's just as I said before, Marco. With this knowledge, with this body, the fact that I'm an AI, I'm on a whole other level than humanity. I was made to believe I orchestrated this game because you and Itane couldn't let me know I was just being played with. That friend who helped me set it all up. That was you, right, Marco? And yet I also have memories of orchestrating all this. But those are probably fake, right? I still don't have the motive. I know the who, I know the what, and I even know the when. What's the why, though? As I stumbled through the crossroads, I made my way to the elevator. Yet it wasn't open, and I didn't have the G-key to unlock it. I was stuck. What am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to... Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Can I hack into Ancora's helmet from here for a vision or another? If I know where to find the G-key here or something, then... I sat down against the closed door of the elevator and focused intensely. I didn't know how I would make it happen, but I tried really hard. As if answering my plea, my consciousness vanished from this helmet. I had forgotten what this would do. I'd forgotten it would kill me. As my data was transferred to Ancora's helmet, my previous self was erased once again, and at the destination point, my data reconstructed, copied into this familiar territory. Not only that, but I also figured out the timing of these visions. These visions I'd been having ever since I woke up in this body. They were timed for the exact moments when I'd previously been hacking from Ancora's helmet to another one, leaving it vacant. So now I was occupying that helmet again. My vision settled upon the teacher. She was talking to Ancora. However, I had no memory of them coming into contact at this time in a classroom of all places. Oh, I get it. This is from the third hacking session. This is the one that led to the me cards being duplicated. But once again, this couldn't have happened. How am I getting these visions? Hello? Can you see me or hear me? Ancora gave no response. Or most likely during the short shutdown I remember having. There'd been a weird blackout when I hacked Avaricia's helmet, right? This must have been during that time. And yet the question of how remains unanswered for now. I have very little time, so listen carefully. You have guided us so splendidly. There is yet one more obstacle in your way. After you wake up, take this elevator to the White Chamber. There will be 8 seats in an octagonal pattern. In the middle will be something else. That will be what you have to solve. Once it's done, you'll be free to go, along with all of my emptiness. Be aware, however, that solving it will trigger something that will affect my emptiness forever. To put it plainly, you will have the ability to punish 7 of them directly. And you'll be able to save the 8th one. Make your choice carefully. There's no coming back. Once you've made your choice, press the button behind their seat and they will be spared. This is Itane, right? Why is she giving me all these directives? And most importantly, how? She's speaking if she knows I'm here at this very moment in time, despite that this is just a weird vision. Also, you may want to know. Once everything is over, there'll be something else to do. In order to access a particular moment, you'll have to do something unorthodox. Have you found any alternative solutions to puzzles yet? This has nothing to do with your final deduction room. It's not for us, but for you. If you find all of them, you will witness something interesting. Now go. Very soon I'll join you there too. Very soon you may live the life I never had. My vision cut off. I was being whisked back to my own helmet. First, I had to quickly compute something together, because some of this didn't match what I knew. This had been nagging at me since the start, and Itane's presence only confirmed some of the doubts I've had. To begin with, I'm now convinced there are indeed 2 Avaricias and 2 Invidias. If there weren't, then it wouldn't match what I'd seen before. There had been Mark, the first Invidia, and Marco, the second one. It wouldn't be otherworldly to expect there to be 2 of everyone else, too. Coming back to what Ancora thought about, the plans didn't fit the school. It's just like she said, the crossroads have been modified. It's supposed to be bigger because it stands between 4 wings. And just like Avaricia said, she'll join me in the White Chamber. That would be impossible if we couldn't physically meet, right? Then that can be explained this way. This is Wing A that we've been exploring this whole time along with the crossroads. What if that name was more than a vague memory from their time at the school? What if it was literally a crossroads for this replicated school too? And that means the crossroads in fact was not at the upper right extremity, but in the middle, which means the actual plans would look like this. This is why the crossroads are different, because they had to be modified. If you copy Wing A and rotate it like this, you can attach a second one to the top. It also explains why the middle is inaccessible. If it had been, we would have stumbled into the second group during their voting rounds. This whole school we're in now, and every time I came into Ancora's helmet, I'm actually just viewing what a second group has been up to all this time. Occam's razor. Could information really transfer across time? Or was it simpler to transfer it across space? It seems to me now the answer's obvious. I'm being transferred between 2 physical helmets. Ancora's in the second half, and I'm from the first. This also means that Me was indeed my body from the second group when she died. Me was occupying the body accompanying Gula and Luxuria to form the second group. Not the real Gula and Luxuria, the ex-machinas who represented them. I remember some things happening that shouldn't have happened, like someone dying and then they were alive again. And Marco, when he disappeared, he was really going to the first group, this one. He came to this group to confront the me that I am now. This is, I don't know, I feel like this is kind of silly. That's when I passed out and had the chat with Me, and then he went back to the second group. If there were 2 of everyone, though, that meant they were all robots? Or were they only partially robots, like androids? I need to get to the bottom of this. I'm coming, White Chamber. It's time to finally end my emptiness. I slammed my fist in my hand, pumping myself up while I prepared myself to enter the elevator. This is it. It's time to solve this final puzzle and be done with everything here. I'll leave with everyone and, well, if only it were that simple. From what Itane said, I won't be able to do that, right? Out of the 8 of them, I'd only personally save 1. I entered the elevator after it opened. I mashed my hand on the button, perhaps a little too hard since I heard a worrying cracking noise coming from it. Oh, that's right. In that one ending, you go in as Ancora and you run into the mirror version of yourself. That's right. Since I was an automaton, the elevator was having a bit of an issue transporting me. I assumed the machinery was heavy, which meant I could never let anyone try to lift me. They'd instantly know something was up. If I was to live as a person, as I wanted to live too, like everyone else, then revealing my true nature would break my future. After struggling for a while, the elevator finally stopped. The doors opened and I stepped through. This was the White Chamber. The final deduction room. Quickly, I cast a glance toward everyone. Just as Itane said, they were all in their seats, docile, with some stuff connected to their helmets. Ancora, Invidia, Superbia, Avaricia, Tristitia, Gula, Luxuria, and Ira were all here. They were waiting for me, and yet none of them moved. Are they unconscious or something? After 24 seconds had passed, the elevator closed behind me, and just like the other deduction rooms, everything locked up. After 24 seconds had passed... I couldn't use either elevator anymore. Since this was a deduction room, I waited for me to give me directions, and yet she never appeared. Right, she's erased. She doesn't exist anymore. That did give me a pang of guilt. For some reason, I felt guilty. I felt a little sad she was gone. Was that an emotion? Was I sad because she was gone, or was I afraid because it could have been me? Putting myself in her shoes, that was the Sally Ann test. No. All of that was wrong. I didn't really feel any of those. Despite it all, I had to admit that was just me trying to force myself to feel something, to feel more humane. But I wasn't a human. I looked around the room for any hints of what I had to do. It was padded and had 3 elevators. 2 of them were in opposite corners. I assumed each of them could be used to access either corner of the crossroads down below. This was the room Marco used to get to the other side, and the only way for us to move across. And yet, there was a 3rd elevator. That one didn't go down, but up. Was this the way out? I left that corner to instead check the middle. As Itane had said, something else was there. It was a strange computer on top of a pedestal with rough writing on one side. The writings read as such: Birth Me Code. Solving this will birth Me Code. 7 will receive the gift of Me Code. 1 will abstain. Choose which one will keep their hope. Interesting. It's asking me to pick one of them to be saved from whatever this Me Code is. I guess I'd better start thinking about them carefully. Let's sort out my emptiness and bring their story to closure. According to all that I know, first, there's Pandora. Her crime is related to her role. As the leader of my emptiness, she allowed everything to happen, and she took advantage of it. She targeted specific students and reaped the benefits. Her sin is vainglory, since she profited off of my emptiness. I know that's not one of the 7 deadly sins, as it was rolled up into pride, but originally there were 9 sins, not 7. The other is acedia, rolled up into sloth. Next, Avaricia. Clearly, she's committed one of the worst crimes of all, abusing Pandora's list to hook up with kids she wanted gone. Her sin is greed, because she wanted everything with none of the consequences. Tough luck, Ava. Your sin's close to lust, but... that one goes to Luxuria. He forced himself on girls who didn't want anything to do with him. He was secure in his gender. He wasn't a girl, he was cleanly a boy, who abused his looks and cast a negative shade on others he didn't associate with. His sin is lust, and his crime is also horrible. Did Pandora see all of this happening right under her nose? I don't know, but allowing it and establishing it and enabling it was terrible too. All kids they kidnapped died or went missing. Those who went missing were collected by Tristitia for his family's business. Seems his father was part of the MDS too. His sloth was because he willingly did nothing to help them. If I had to guess, a bunch of those kids were his bullies. It must be why he has those bandages. He might have been beaten due to his corpulence. Taking revenge through inaction must have satisfied him. The other kids were killed by Superbia. She was probably working off the frustrations of her personal life. Her sin is pride because she thought she was above everyone. And yet, her crime is still just as unjustifiable. Superbia dated Ira, whose sin was wrath. No doubt, Superbia's frustrations rubbed off on him and he grew increasingly angrier over his lot in life. He was hired by her parents to distribute drugs, right? Drugs that turn people into religious zealots. His sin is wrath and his crime is clear. Distributing those drugs might have helped him in the short run, but in the long run he ruined life after life all on Pandora's watch. One of Superbia's murderers came to light, and it was pinned on Invidia's father. As a son, coming after 6 sisters must have also been a mental blow to Invidia. As the youngest of 7, how do you get recognized by your family? If he managed to free his father, he'd have done something none of his sisters could do. and so his sin is envy, and his crime is perhaps lesser in the eyes of many, but still sent an innocent behind bars. True, his father was innocent. It's hard to say, and yet his actions still ruined Gula's life. Her sin is gluttony because she was a glutton for her father's care. Clearly, he did care about her a lot, but when he was taken from her, all of this ended. She sought revenge. Her crime is related to the bombs. She's a terrorist who destroyed the school that decided to sweep everything under the rug. They ignored her father entirely, despite the fact that he was not the criminal who killed Superbia's targets. And what of Ancora, then? Of all of them, she has no sin. She joined my emptiness because her sister was at the helm and she wanted to stop her. Laudable, but she failed to stop it before it got out of hand. Yeah, you really Mukoro'd this up, didn't you? Perhaps she got on too late? I think out of all of them, Ancora is the one who deserves to avoid whatever this machine will do. I made my choice. However, before I moved in, I had a thought. Who's the final sin? There were 9 sins. The final one, Acedia. That might be my sin. After all, even with everything I'd gone through, it's hard to care for any of them. And that's what Acedia is, lack of care. It's exactly what I feel. I wandered over to Ancora's seat. This is who I'd save. I looked around it and noticed a button on the back. The indication above it said release. Well, she's the one who's the least sinful. My task is clear then. Ancora, you go free. But a coincidence that your name also means hope. An even bigger coincidence that you were the traitor, too. Ironic that I'd been in her head this whole time, and that she's the one who will go free while the rest will be punished. I pushed the button. A soft hissing noise came from the tubes connected to the helmet, and they seemed to fall limp. Whatever that button did, I doubted anything bad would happen now. Now, I had my puzzle to solve. I scurried back to the pedestal in the middle. I had to hurry. I only had 24 minutes and a few of them had gone by. Once I solved this, everyone would be free. Possibly in more ways than one. Once I solved this, I knew it would be the end of my emptiness. What about this entire thing? I still don't know why. Itane did say she would meet me here later, which means I would get answers after this. Even if the curtains will close on my emptiness, I still have a little more to do. This is the end of my emptiness and the beginning of my full life. It's time to birth me code, or whatever that means. Let me out! The answer is... Okay. We have a puzzle. It's pretty straightforward. I didn't expect this. Who's this? What's going on? I'm Pandora. I don't know my real name. I see. I don't know either. I don't know who I am, sorry. You've committed the sin of Acedia. You watched the leader of my emptiness. You did nothing to stop her. Sorry. I tried. I joined it. I joined my emptiness to stop her. It wasn't enough, though. Sorry. You have nothing to be sorry for. At least you didn't die. I'm not dead, but this is just our connection. Thanks to that, I know all about you. I see. I guess that makes sense. Do you know who I am, then? I'm not sure if I should say. Why not? I want to know. You are the current equivalent of hope. I know you hate that word now, though. You're right, I felt strange. You'll get over it, I think. Your mind will get a wipe later. A wipe? Your memories of this place will go. I don't want that. I don't want to lose my memories. Even if those memories are atrocious. If you keep this, you may go mad. I don't know. What do I do? I don't know either. What I do know is that you'll stay. I don't want to stay either. Your sister is here too. Then I guess it's fine. I want to be with my sister. The mind wipe is inevitable. Your memories will be carried by me. Does my sister know I'm here? Not yet, but she will soon. She'll get mind wiped too. Maybe she could avoid it, no? I'm the one with the trauma. No, in her case it's different. I can't say the reason why, though. And what will happen to me? You'll no longer be stressed out. Still, it's scary. It's the truth, and we're out of time. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes. Your memories are yours to keep. Now go out and live your experiences. Okay. I came back to my helmet in one final time. It had been quite a trip, but now I had enough. I wanted answers. I solved the final puzzle, I punished 7 of them, and now they were all awake. They were all awake and they were all looking at me. Immediately I brought my hands up to my face. My helmet. It fell off. How is that possible? Hello? Why is my helmet off? Ira and Tristitia stepped forward. The rest were immobile, waiting. Wait, you're Alex Seville and Etienne Schmidt, aren't you? Yeah, that's us. Your helmet's off because you now occupy your Ex Machina body instead. Why am I stuck with the stuttering one? One of us had to occupy that one. It sucks, but at least you aren't fat. Point taken. What's going on? From the moment they spoke, I already figured out something wasn't right. What did those machines do to them? What exactly was the me code that was gifted? Oh, that. It's simple. Hold up. Maybe it would be better to leave it to someone else. You're stuttering a lot. As if that's my fault. Unfortunately, it can't be me. I have to leave promptly. Well, it's not urgent in the past 12 years. I can't let Schmidt facilities take advantage of the MTS's resources anymore. You're leaving? Right now, in fact. Goodbye. I'll see you later. And just like that, he took the elevator up. I looked over at Nvidia and Avaricia. They took Alex's place and talked to me next. Mark Tremblay and Arel Weber, correct? Correct, but also incorrect. I can explain it all, since my own job won't be until later. Arel, what about you? I have to go too. I'd like to stay here, but whatever I say, Itane herself will be able to say it better than I would. Good point. Maybe it's best to leave it for later. Leave what for later? Your explanations. Let's just make it simple for now. Arel was about to leave, but I grabbed her arm. What are you going to do? What's your deal? I have to transport the vats in the reactor rooms. They were used to keep everyone in stasis, but now I have a new use for them. In stasis? She pulled away from me and continued to walk away. Soon she took one of the elevators Etienne hadn't, since she was going down and not up. Yeah, in stasis. You don't think everyone here is a robot, do you? These bodies certainly aren't. What does that have to do with anything? Think of it this way. You already figured out there were 2 teams, so let's go over them quickly. At first, the plan was to have the entire group of humans and one made up solely of robots, see? But that plan got modified. The first group kept 8 humans. Everyone in it used to be a human, and 8 of them were the ones who sat in the chairs, the ones who got punished accordingly by me. The 9th member used to be Ancora, or Greta Penmill, but they moved her to the second group and replaced her with me, E288, an Alpha Ex Machina. That meant I'd mistakenly absolved Pandora, not Ancora. All 8 of them had been irredeemable, so no matter which one I picked, it would have been someone I didn't want to save. At the very least, Greta wouldn't have to suffer the loss of her sister. Loss, or whatever it was that these humans had gone through. Considering how they acted now, it wasn't too far off the mark. The second group originally had 9 Beta Ex Machinas. Instead, they replaced the Beta Ex Machinas for Ancora, Avaricia, and Nvidia with Greta, Itane, and Marco respectively. That meant that 1/9 of the first group was Ex Machina, and 3/9, or 1/3, of the second group were humans. The remaining 2/3 were Ex Machinas. Do you get it now? That was how they were distributed. How do you know all this? You're Mark. I pointed over at a random person, right at Gula. And you're Lucille Boisjoli, aren't you? That's right. I'm Lucille, what about it? She wasn't speaking with her usual meaningless big words. I'd love to stay and chat, but I also have something to do, so if you don't have anything specific to ask, just wait for it, Nay. Waiting, always waiting, isn't it? Can't I just get some answers for once? Not from me. I have to leave right away, because I need to handle the unused bomb. She motioned at Superbia. Annie Sansosi, are you listening? Take my spot and explain all this to her. She left, and in her place a very disgruntled girl came forward. She looked at me with her usual expression. It was refreshing to see their faces, but they didn't feel normal. Yeah, I could see their faces. I knew that, and I embraced that fact, but it didn't feel like them. Lucille wasn't speaking normally. Sure, Alex was stuttering, and he wasn't all threats now either. Etienne hadn't been the same downer guy as he'd been for the past few hours. Who were these people? Were they really the people who had accompanied me through this entire ordeal? Or were they other people? Hey, you're spacing out. I can tell, don't try to lie to me. Oh, right. I'm listening, go on. I'm saying I can't explain anything either. Do you know what I have to do now? I have a feeling you'll tell me. I have to leave this place and infiltrate my family. Their funds are being funneled to the empty S. I have to freeze it, or better, snatch it for myself. Do you understand how hard that's gonna be? And that's why I don't have the time to stay here. Yes, it's been 12 years. Better late than never. Alex. The guy didn't seem concerned when she called for him. Instead, Annie smacked his back to catch his attention. Apparently, no one is listening here. I'm talking to you. Oh, sure. Yeah, right. Sorry, it's hard to adjust. I have a lot of drugs to destroy, so... The two of them left together. Everyone had gone now except for a handful. Mark was still here, and so was Luxuria. I addressed the latter. Hey, you. Nico Hope. You don't have anything to do, right? Explain right now. Why are you all acting so weird? Simple. The reason why is because, functionally, we're dead. He waited a moment, but I had no reaction. No reaction, huh? Well, I guess your emotions will come eventually. If we're lucky. Anyway, my parents are already dead, and I have no real involvement with all this, so... I'm gonna help Arel move those vats. They're pretty heavy, and it's not fun to do alone. Yeah. Moving everything out of here before the MTS gets their hands back on it is paramount. If we fail, they'll just reuse it for atrocious deeds. So you guys are doing something good now? That's what you're gonna claim? Exactly. Toodles. And with that, he was gone too. He took the elevator to head back down and meet with Arel. Okay, what about you? What's your job then? Everyone seems to know what they're doing. I figure I owe you some explanation. As you've noticed, none of us are acting the way you expect us to. And it's not a farce or anything. We're not us, that's what I mean. When you solved the Birth Me Code puzzle, it did exactly that. It gave us the Me Code, which is basically the mastermind's identity. Their memories and experiences rolled up into one. Our previous consciousnesses were erased, a bit like how you overwrite your data on a computer when you copy a file somewhere where there's already a file with the same name. So now we're all Eaton-A. All of us here. Well, except for not Greta here, are Eaton-A. I have a name, you know. Stop calling me not Greta. How do you know that name? Sometime during his explanation, the final person had risen up from their seat. It was Ancora, or really Pandora. She was Ancora from the first group, but she was also Pandora from my emptiness. She seemed to have a pretty normal reaction. She panicked a little, looking around the room and frowning at Mark. It seemed as though she wanted answers too. She's Hannah Penmill, if you're really curious. Yep, that's me. Who the fuck are you, though? I recognize Mark, but not you. I'm E288. It's not a name, I know. It's weird. I don't know what it stands for. Well, you will know if you ask Eaton-A. The real Eaton-A, not us. Okay, and when is she gonna be here? She said she'd meet me here. Very soon. In fact, she'll be here in just a second, but listen, I gotta go. You're not going yet. You're gonna give me some answers. Nope. I have to track down a certain principal man of interest. It's not gonna be easy, but I have a lead. Is this a joke? Because it's like Lucille's dad, or did you just misspell principal? Like, did you use the wrong principal? It's not gonna be easy, but I have a lead. Just leave it to us. And with that, he effortlessly pushed Hannah away, who had been trying to stop him in his tracks. He slid into the elevator going up, leaving me alone with her. So, until she gets here, what do you... Our talk was instantly interrupted when the doors to the elevator of the second group opened. Out of it came Marco, Greta, and... Itane? Who is this woman? As soon as she entered, Greta already left Marco and the old woman to run into Hannah's side. The two of them spoke to each other, but my attention was squarely on the other duo. That's Marco, I get it, but you, who the heck are you? I guess I'll let you both catch up. The dead won't bury themselves, so excuse me. Marco shrugged when he realized he didn't need to introduce himself. He decided to leave us both to bury the dead, whatever that meant. Wait, are you Itane? Avaricia from the second group? You don't look like what I remember. That's correct. I understand you may be confused, so give me a moment to explain this particular thing. I have been Avaricia in the second group. What you saw in the elevator was a lie. To put it simply, the helmets have motion tracking technology. Considering my and the Beta Ex Machina's appearances, there was no other choice but to substitute everyone's real appearance with their corresponding person. That means that while I look like this, to you and everyone else who wore those helmets, I just look like Avaricia. See, I said, it's the helmet controls your perception. In the same thought, everyone else from the second group who wasn't human was the same. This way, we kept everything normal, despite the fact that everyone from the second group really was just a skinless machine. If you ever had the idea to touch this place's weaponry, the static shotguns for example, then you would have seen your hand passing through them. That's because they're also fake reality. All the fake guns except for one of them. And the one was to be used just in case things went badly. Okay, I understand that now. What I don't understand is why. Why do all this? What do you have to gain from organizing such a complicated killing game? The reasons are threefold. However, it'll take legendary pains to go into every minute detail, so forgive me if I keep it to the essentials. There are also details I cannot say because someone is still watching. If I said them, it would preemptively unravel my plans for the future. I decided to get comfortable, so I sat down in Cora's chair. The helmet was already disconnected anyway. Even if I was an Alpha Ex Machina, my body could still feel some sort of comfort. In 2002, this school was bombed by the terrorist named Lucille Bujoli. Due to our helpful connections to some of the staff at the school, we were able to obtain plans to replicate the building. And by we, I mean the MDS. This is a nefarious organization Marco and I have infiltrated. We're also staff members of the MDS, don't get us wrong. We just don't quite share their exact views. In tandem with the construction of this replica, we also matured your Ex Machina over 12 years. We designed and built others for the members of My Emptiness. They were beta versions, less advanced, but still suitable. Their bodies make excellent physical workers, so we'll most certainly reuse them. Originally, everybody was to be executed as part of MTS's plans. Naturally, Marco and I felt it would be best to do otherwise. If we'd been on a train, think of our current involvement as switching rails and going off the planned path. You did not just sit here and make a freaking absolute... Oh, you did not just make a fucking trolley problem joke at me. To avoid being killed. Yes, but also to avoid some larger catastrophe. My own life won't continue for very long even after this outcome, however. I am definitely frail and old, unlike the kids from My Emptiness we kept in stasis for 12 years. As she said that, Marco walked back in, carrying various large scraps of metal and wires. Squinting, I looked at the metallic parts. They were the dead bodies of the second group. They were all headless, most likely due to the fact that the helmets had exploded. 6 of them were carried in, the 6 deaths that had been prophesied early on. The 3 survivors had been Marco, Itane, and Greta. I still didn't know the why. So this is a nice history lesson, but it doesn't really tell me your reasons. Yeah, that's right. I did say they were threefold. The first reason is that we had to put the Sally Ann test into practice. Someone in the MTS theorized that by adding a higher being's belief to ours, we could duplicate a reality. Think of it a little bit as like a reality error. By combining the view of someone from a higher level than humanity with another that witnessed the actual reality, both outcomes would exist at once. Essentially, we used this idea to duplicate the me cards. That wasn't my goal, though. It was the goal of some insane old bat. So it was yours. Fair, I suppose. But no, it was another insane old bat. All of this was based on a principle where if you learn something, you can never unlearn it. This is easy for us, who are humans, since if someone learns something they aren't supposed to learn, you can just kill them or erase their memories or whatever. In short, you can wipe the slate clean with a normal person's consciousness learning something they can't unlearn. At least in theory. In practice, wiping a mind doesn't really work, but I digress. It's considerably harder for any sort of higher entity who is witnessing our world. It's impossible to erase their memories, right? And so, God witnessing the world is impossible to touch. The idea was to test the theory to see if it worked, and then, if it did, send God somewhere else. Marco had then had to explain the Sally Ann test, and if we played our cards right, the trick would never work again. Since it was clear that we succeeded, and because eventually we would succeed after trying this many times, I already planned ahead and set that up. Now, the Sally Ann test cannot be employed by the MTS anymore. You could say I've successfully thwarted their use. Could you imagine if this abomination of an organization would have had the ability to duplicate anything? Anyone, even? The old woman gave me a complicit smile. Was that personal to her, or had I misread her? Completely horrible. Something's bothering me. You said trying many times just now. What do you mean? Has this occurred before? One thing at a time. I'll move on to the second reason now. As long as you don't forget to expand on that too. The impatience of youth never ceases to surprise me. She paused for a moment, and then she resumed as if testing me. The second reason behind all of this was simple. Perhaps the simplest reason of all. It was to punish my emptiness. At least that's what it was on paper. As you have seen yourself, the machine in the middle overwrote their minds. It replaced all the members of my emptiness you chose to punish with me. What it did is birth me code in their heads. The me code, or memories and experience code, is made of my own mind. My own memories and experiences stuffed in much younger bodies, duly erasing the ingrates and giving me a bit more leeway. Well, that's not creepy at all. And it's pretty monstrous of you to do. Oh, I guess it is. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I don't need forgiveness. I need results. Either way, it wasn't my intention to rob them of their free will, but I don't have a choice anymore. I'm pressed for time and I have very few resources. You do understand I'm fighting against the MTS, right? I need all the staff I can get. I need all the resources I can get. I need every ounce of strength I can muster to bring about their fall and prevent them from enacting. I stared at her for a moment, but she didn't continue. Yeah? To enact what? I can't say yet. If I did, God wouldn't be able to unlearn it. God again? Are you really claiming God is here or something? Is that your reason behind your refusal to speak? Are you going to use this as your excuse every time? Yes, because God is here. Do you know why you are called Ex Machinas? It's because you are a Deus Ex Machina. Literally, you are hosting God. God is watching everything through your eyes at this very moment. Are we God, we the player? That's silly. I think it is. I think it's really silly. However, this is a position that MTS has taken on the matter, and while I've systematically been countering their theories, I feel this one's too strong now. Too many people believe in God. Those damn drugs. She shook her head. What? Drugs? Were Irish drugs that important? Anyway, that's the second reason. It was to duplicate me essentially into 7 able, real human bodies and put a real wrench into the MTS's plans. They'll lose funding, access to many important pieces of technology, and we'll turn them inside out. Of course, I bet they already know what we're planning. If we're fast, we can get out of here with everything I need, though. Otherwise, I'll just suffer the same fate as Etienne's father. He worked for the MTS, too. Sadly for him, while he didn't share their doctrine, he was, incapacitated. Perhaps permanently. Doesn't that scare you? Not at this stage. Speaking of, Marco! The man walked back to us. Apparently, he had been talking with both Greta and Hannah. Polo! Aye, aye, sir. We're moving out? Stop with your silly puns. We have to move quickly. Bring Greta and Hannah somewhere safe. Where? Maybe the complex number 27 sounds good? That's where I'm sending all the vats. Roger, Captain. Arr. He made a poor impression of a pirate and swiftly vacated the area. Meanwhile, Itane brought back her attention to me. And the third reason? I'll tell you, but first I need you to put this helmet on. A helmet? Am I not? I touched my face. The helmet was no longer on my head. And now Itane wanted to put one on me again? I refuse! I never want to wear those things again. It'll just be for a moment. Do you remember the penultimate puzzle you solved? The answer was 1, 2, 3, wasn't it? Currently you are 2. You have the memories of your trip through only one half of this place, but not the other. This helmet contains the information you had in the other half. Without it, you cannot become third. And it will only take a second? Yes. If you do it, I'll tell you about the third and biggest reason why all this had to take place. I hesitated. Who wouldn't? Fine. Itane approached me and put the helmet on me. As soon as it happened, the files were copied, others were erased. Previous me didn't exist anymore. Just like one was the sum of their memories and experiences, my first self had been the one who had lived through the first group's events. My second self had been the one who lived through the second group's events. And now, the process of combining both together made me become third. Just as Itane said, the process took just a moment. As soon as the helmet was on, it was already off again. I didn't feel any different than before. Deep down, I knew the person I had been a few seconds ago was gone. At least, I wouldn't need to make any more sacrifices now. I looked around. The twins and Marco were preparing to leave. Hey, hold on! I want to tell them goodbye. Marco shrugged and the twins came up to me. What do you want, then? Doesn't matter, sis. She helped you out, didn't she? Yeah, I guess so. Thanks, then. Or something. We're gonna go away for a very long time. The complex number 27, right? Yeah. I don't know what that means. We're out of time. Come back here and let's go. The twins gave me a wave and along with Marco vanished into the elevator going up. I had a feeling I wouldn't see them again. And now, let's tackle the final reason behind all of this, shall we? Hold on. First, I want to know who I am exactly. You are my future, of sorts. See, I truly feel the weight of my age, and so I've gone to great lengths to make you, my most prized creation. In that sense, I suppose you are like my daughter. Even if you are a bit more like me, and not my daughter. I want to take a look at what you physically are. Lift this section of wall here. She moved to it. I joined her and together removed some of the padding to unveil a mirror. Okay, so she's built a younger body for herself. Staring into it, I finally took a look at myself. This was me. This would be me now, forever, and always. Nobody else would look like me. Nobody else would share the same memories and experiences. So, I'm you, except younger. Yes, that's correct. You are me, but also my emptiness. You were created both as my double, so that I may live for a long time, and as a backup for my emptiness, just in case something went awry. That's why you've been made to carry their memories. But enough about the software and the hardware. Such things are trifling compared to your name. What does my name have to do with any of this? Your name, E288. Do you even know what it means? Do you know why you're called E288? Well, apparently there's a term for Fermilab called E288. 288 team led by Leon Lenderman, who discovered the Upsilon Meson, which is designated by the letter Y. Heh, you found that by running an online search in your head just now, did you? I embarrassingly nodded. Good try, but not quite. In fact, it has nothing to do with that at all. How to explain it? This may sound a little strange, but bear with me. What do you know of order and chaos? Order is generally seen as a force of good, and chaos usually represents a villain's goals. D+ for effort, but just like everything, it's more nuanced than that. In this case, when I say order, I mean entropy, and by chaos, I mean negentropy. I turned around to pay attention to her. What was this all about? The universe began its long life with the Big Bang. Nobody knows where and how it begun, but the Big Bang created a swirling, ever-expanding vortex. Its magnitude has never been replicated by anything except for the Big Bang. As time passes, the entropy of the universe increases. Planets slow their movements, stars break apart, and everything floats irremediably towards a single future, the cleanest, most pristine order. Eventually, we'll reach a point where everything has called heat death. This is where everything will have expended all the energy released in the universe. It'll be as if everything will have been erased. No life will exist. No planets will move. Everything will be equidistant. No gravity, nothing. No God, no existence. Order or erasure. The universe cannot exist in that state. It's just that, erasure. And so the universe will enter a secondary process we call the Big Crunch. Once entropy levels in the universe have increased to the maximum, it'll fall back in on itself. Why would it do that? Well, I don't know. The fact remains, it does. It needs negentropy, or chaos, to continue existing. The universe will collapse into itself, into its center point, reenact another Big Bang, which will bring everything back out in almost exactly the same way it did before. That is the determinism behind our existence. We've already been written on every possible detail because every atom of the universe is exactly, precisely where it had been before the Big Crunch. This is called the eternal return. It's a theory that says the Big Bang and the Big Crunch will follow up on each other forever. Eternally, the universe will reset to its center and recreate itself exactly as it was, with minute differences. And those differences will make all the difference. The reason why your name is E288 is due to the machine that can identify which reset of the universe we're in since its conception. We're currently in the 288th reset of the universe. The machine is called ABIM, or ABIME. It stands for a biochromatic meridian. Don't ask me what the A stands for. I've yet to figure it out. I've been hard at work, but it's a strangely guarded secret in the MTS. Okay. My head is spinning. Congratulations, you managed to confuse an entity that can compute puzzles at the speed of light. I know it's very vertiginous, but you have to understand. The universe resets over and over when it reaches the end of its long life. And what does it have to do with any of this here? The universe is failing. For some reason, we have yet to comprehend the minute differences between each reset of the universe are exponentially growing worse and worse. There have been resets before the Abime was created, and there will be resets after, but suffice to say we will not be here to see them. We've estimated that beyond the 300th reset, humanity will no longer exist. Okay, I mean that sounds like a win to me. Everything will have spiraled in such a different way that our planet will not sustain life anymore. Maybe the universe will bring life elsewhere, but nobody knows. Who cares? Who cares? Like, you're not going to be there for it. You're not going to be cognizant of it. Who cares? Alright, whatever. That is the third reason behind this experiment. We needed to create an entity that could transfer information across resets of the universe, even if it's always forward. We need time. Time is our biggest enemy. Teammate. While people wage stupid wars, while people are content watching television in their living rooms, playing games, watching others play games, the universe is dying. If we die, the universe may very well die with us. Okay, and we'll be dead. Who cares? It'll have no observers. And you, that's the entity who can transfer information across resets. For some reason, when the universe collapses on its own, you can keep information despite the ultimate compression recreating the Big Bang. This experiment here has been held around a dozen times, I believe. From the 277th reset to the 288th, we've toiled hard to ensure information was carried over. Okay. Let me recapitulate that in my head. The three goals of this whole event were as follows. First goal was to create a situation where the Sally-Ann test would duplicate objects and create a reality error, then thwart it so it could never be used again by MTS. The second goal was to give Eaton A more staff while simultaneously punishing those who didn't live adequately. Since they were young, Eaton A implanted herself in their heads, and she now occupies their bodies to do as she pleases with her Project D-Forge. The final reason was to create an entity that could transfer information across time. Somehow, this is required to help prevent the universe from ending once we reach a reset where humanity stops existing forever. Okay, I think I got it. So what do I do now? Now you live. I live? There's no huge plan for me? There's no ultimate destiny awaiting me? I didn't create you so that you'd be stuck in the same fight against the universe I'm in. I've created you so that you'd enjoy a nice life. In other words, years of freedom at least. Eventually, the self-consistency principle will catch up to you, though. It stipulates that we are all prisoners of our own fates. For something to be possible in the future, the past will accommodate it. In many years, it is possible fate will have something grim in store for you. However, I have ensured that you will have complete freedom for many years. Please live them out. Go to university, make friends, fall in love with a handsome boy. The choice is yours. As no one will observe you, not even God or anybody else, it'll be real freedom. When not observed, all possibilities exist at once. I see. Cryptic as always, but I think I get it. In essence, you're telling me to live a life you could never have, is that correct? Yes. Our business is done here. Unless you have more questions. Let's say I'll allow you up to 3. I had 3 questions. I need to make them count. What are all 8 of you going to do now? This is the biggest mystery of all, isn't it? To be clear, I don't know exactly yet. Our first order of business is to carry out the first preparations for Project D-Forge. I'll probably not live up to that point, but if I do, I'll be elated. There is a certain important man being held in prison. I have to rescue him at all costs, and that is who Mark will be tracking down. Currently, we don't know where the prison is. Before I leave, there are some pieces of technology I must get. The vats, for example, are one of them, and another is the machine at the center of the voting room. What you all thought was a bomb was in fact a gravity machine. It's empty because what was inside was the machine itself. It's being prepared for future use. As for what it's for, I'll leave that up to your interpretation. Once I leave, I'll go into hiding. Cannot remain out in the open now that I'll have visibly betrayed the MDS. For all I know, armed men are already on their way here as we speak. Make your other questions quick. No pressure, of course. What's with the cool S? What does it really mean? It's a symbol of the MDS, naturally. However, we have yet to determine the origins. It may just have originated from a much, much older reset of the universe. It's possible the MDS has been a fledgling institution a long time ago, and that's where it comes from. Most certainly wasn't big enough to construct the Abim before we reached Reset 001. That may have been when the symbol was formed. I want you to understand, though, that each branch of MDS has its own symbol. This is but one of them. The Cool S branch is the biggest one of the bunch. Okay, last question. What's my name? I can't just go around calling myself E288, now can I? Ah, damn. I forgot that. She palmed her face, uncertain of how to proceed. Normally, a parent gives their child a proper name. Sadly, I will not have the time to ponder on it. Since you are me, obliquely, I will let you choose a name of your own. If you want, feel free to form something use my own name. Eatone Ecofilm. Why not just make an anagram of it to be cheeky? I don't mind, but that's hardly an answer. I asked you what my name was. Fair is fair. I will grant you a 4th question, but hurry. Our time is very short. I had to make it count. You mentioned you had to go save someone. Why do you have to go do so, and who is it? I was hoping my questions disguised at one would fool her. Those are 2 questions. I'll answer who it is. Is that fine? My hopes were squashed almost instantly. That's just too bad. That won't really mean much, but I guess. I simply don't have the time to explain why. It would take too long. One day you will know. For now, I'll tell you his name. As she spoke, she began walking to the elevator going down. I was going to the elevator open up, but I stuck by her momentarily, long enough to hear his name. It wouldn't mean much, as I said. It was just a name. And I really wanted to know at least one more thing, and if that thing was only a name, so be it. His name is Zachary. We escaped the underground. Using the elevator to head back to the surface, I was finally allowed out. After so long, after living through 12 universe resets worth of wait, I was finally free to live my life. It wasn't an equivalent exchange. For 7 years or so, I had to sacrifice eons of death and nothingness. But wasn't that the case for everyone anyway? People don't exist for billions of years, only to share the world for a speck of time. Several dozens of years at best, and when they returned to being dead. That perhaps was even sadder than my fate. At least I knew the truth of the universe. They didn't. They were bound by their own code. Their code, the code making up each and every one of us, was as different as the number of stars in the night sky, or perhaps even more numerous. Our personalities, our memories, our experiences, our dreams, failures, successes. I was but one of them, and now I was free. And yet something nagged at me. Zachary. That name, I'd heard it before. There was something else bothering me too. While searching my memories, I found something off. It was asking me for some kind of password. The only hint was, what is my real name? I don't know. What is your real name? Erased. Okay. So, it's not me. If you don't know, write that. Okay. I don't know. I shook off that thought. I was free. I had ample time to think of it. No use deciding now, was there? Maybe someday I'll be able to get back in there. Definitely not something I should be messing with unless I used my head and cracked the code myself. For now, it's time to go. I'm not allowed to see what this girl will see for the next 7.5 years. It has been set to lock you out automatically. And the box finally opened. I'm assuming this is a reference, I assume that's a reference to, A, Pandora's box, and B, Schrodinger's cat. Because they were talking about observers and that kind of junk. Okay, so we're on the credits. I don't know what the name is. If I can find out what the name is, I might go back and see what else is there, but right now I'm tired and I want to be done. So, I gotta say, so I was intrigued through a lot of the game. I mentioned this in the previous videos, but I feel like the like flowchart method, it's interesting and it's unique, but it's not, I feel like it's not quite the best because it's hard to reach the specific points you need to get to. Like I also said, if you don't remember some of the like random points or whatever, sometimes it's tough, where it's like, oh, you got, you know, this, you know, thing in the end of your, in the one of the endings or whatever, like somebody told you this, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, cool and all, but, like, I don't remember. Yeah, I'm okay with the sort of twist where it's like, oh, okay, you're you're not the character that you think you are the whole time, because that's totally fine. That was perfectly reasonable. And then you know, I'm like, all right, cool, we find out we're like an AI or whatever, but I do kind of feel like it's a little bit ridiculous that I don't know, everything that happened and all the stuff that got sort of like shared was just, it was a lot. It was a lot, and I feel like it wasn't the kind of stuff that we could like reasonably suss out using the information. Like the thing about everybody's crimes and stuff like that, that's fine. You could suss that out. You could suss out the thing about, you know, there being twins and about Ancora and Pandora, right? And they're trying to do stuff and the traitor is Ancora, right? Makes sense. But the whole like thing with, oh, the universe is like, you know, being reset and we're trying to like battle entropy and, you know, here's all this other stuff and all this, and I don't know, maybe it ties into like the other games by this dev or whatever, but I felt like it was a lot and it was incredibly back heavy. Like I understand that, like, yes, at the end of a game like this you're gonna get a lot of backstory and you're gonna get a lot of things that are revealed, but like I feel like the things that were revealed in this at the end, it didn't really like grant me any new insight to the stuff that came before. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in like 999 has a ridiculous scenario, but when you get through and you get to the end and you realize like, oh, this is why we've been going through everything, it's like satisfying and it makes sense, and you can look back at everything before and be like, oh, okay, this is recontextualized it. Whereas for this one, I feel like it doesn't really recontextualize anything in a meaningful way, like narratively. It, you know, you're like, oh, okay, we were looking at two different things the whole time, and, you know, that explains some of the inconsistencies or whatever, but it's kind of like, so, you know? And it's like, oh, okay, we're making these, like, you know, like, ex machina like robots or whatever with these like sophisticated AIs and all that, and it's like, okay, well, cool, but look, so like I kind of, that's kind of what I'm left with at the end here. And like, I don't want to be mean about it, because I do think that A lot of work went into this. I really like, I do think they do a really good job of sort of like making the characters look distinct and fun and expressive, despite the fact that you can't see their faces. I've said that since the very first episode. I think that's really, really good and shows, you know, a lot of like really good talent. I think that they're like, you know, for the most part, the puzzles were pretty fun. I kind of like the idea that there's like another thing. Like I said, I try and figure out the name, but I'm too fucking tired. But yeah, my overall, I think it's very serviceable. Yeah, I think my like criticisms, in terms of things that I think could be improved, I think you could spread out the lore a little bit better across the whole game. And I would like a better payoff at the end than what we got, because it just, I feel like maybe it's just like, maybe I'm sinning through Acedia, but I just like, I get to the end and I find all this stuff and I'm just like, okay, I don't care. You know what I mean? So there's that. And then, I feel like the flowchart needs to be overhauled a little bit. Like, you need to have a way to skip room deductions when you're going through and getting other dialogue options and things like that. There should be an option to jump into an area and choose another dialogue option in like one route that you're in, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And the last thing is, I'm sure that there was an editor for this, but I feel like it has a little bit of that, like, you know, bad VN syndrome where things are overly explained. And I feel like sometimes, like, things were put in there and it's just like, okay, alright, you know, whatever. Like, sometimes it's just a joke that didn't happen to land, and that's fine, but, like, some of it was, like, just a whole lot of attention paid to, like, really minute details and stuff like that. Like, the whole thing where it's, like, you know, you and I and you and me both, and, like, that was a huge deal, and I guess it was supposed to indicate that, like, it was two different people. One was Mark and one was Marco. But, I don't know, it's just, like, it didn't really click, and it was such a small thing, and at the time when it comes up, you're like, oh, this is such a pedantic point, who gives a crap? I feel like you could have demonstrated that a little bit better. Like, the whole thing about, like, the different names, where Avaricia has two different names, you know, and like you're like, well, what the hell? That was much more of a, there's two groups, you know what I mean, as opposed to the other one. But yeah, I don't know. There were things that I liked about this and things that I didn't really like so much. Once I have a little bit of like time to digest it or whatever, I might come back and try and do some of the, because I at one point, Eaton's like, yeah, you should do the secret puzzle solutions or whatever. So maybe at some point I'll go back and solve those. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see about it. And I just, I don't know. I think overall I would give this. It's a solid. I would say it's like a B minus, somewhere in there. Would I recommend it to somebody to play? If they liked VNs and they liked this sort of like mystery solving thing and they liked puzzles and stuff like that, then yeah, I probably would. I'd probably give a couple of caveats about, again, like I said, the writing and the sort of like the weird structure with the flowchart. And I might like also mention like, all right, I might mention at the end, like, yeah, how did you feel about the spreading out of the lore and whatnot? Because, like, again, I feel like it's way too back heavy. Like, a lot of the things, the lore you're getting at the end should be like, oh, okay, I have some of the, like, larger structural, like, details that give context to what I already know. Whereas this was just like, here's a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, we have no idea about. You know what I mean? And so there's my emptiness, and then there's, like, empty S, and like those seem to be two different, possibly related, like, groups, and like my emptiness seems to be like a small scale organization, whereas empty S is like a huge thing with tons of funding, and apparently a is like sending things across, like, universes and stuff like that. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. So, thanks everybody for coming on this journey with me. I'm excited to have this over. This is a really big, long, I think this is going to be over 2 hours, this finale. But, yeah. I'm like, what, like 2.5 hours into my recording here, and I still have like another like 20 minutes or something from the first part before, my recording got messed up. So yeah, all right. Good night, everybody. Have a great time. I'm gonna be posting this next Friday, the 29th of July. I'm doing it on a Friday because I want to give people the weekend to watch it, and then I'm doing something short and sweet and just whatever the week after. Bear with me on that. There are a couple of other things that that are coming up that I kind of am interested in playing. And we'll see. We'll see what we want to do next. So if you guys have things you want to see me play, let me know. But yeah, I wanted to try this one out because I saw it recommended. It's somewhere, I forget where. And yeah, I'm not sorry that I played it. I think that with this particular one, and the story and all of that, it's yeah, like I said, I would give it like a B- for this. B- C+, somewhere in there. It's I don't want to say mediocre, even though I think that's probably what I mean. I don't think it's like overwhelmingly bad. I wouldn't be like, oh, this is terrible. But I also don't think it's overwhelmingly good either. So yeah, just in the middle. Perfectly fine. And yeah, all right. Thanks everybody. Take it easy. I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.